Our natural identity doesn't want to go outside itself. Our natural identity wants to stay inside of itself, wants to just validate ourselves, wants to stay comfortable, wants to stay cozy. Every generation in American history, at least that I know of, I've heard a number of sociologists talk about this, every generation always is judgmental towards the next generation. They always think the next generation is weak, the next generation is selfish, the next generation isn't going to last. And if you take a perusal through major magazine cover stories over the last several decades, you'll see this is clear again and again and again and again and again. The older generation always thinks the younger generation is more selfish, younger generation is less hardy, younger generation is less creative, younger generation is less selfless. I mean, it always happens. And America's going to go to hell in the handbasket as soon as they get elected. We've always thought that since 1776. And so one of the things that we do as older people, and I say older people if you're not in the millennial generation, the youngest generation of adults or about to be adults, is we pick on things like selfies. Now, we look at all the selfies that are happening, call them Generation Me, yada, yada, yada. The reality is everyone takes selfies. You can see it. You could go to the Hollywood Awards, and you have non-millennials who are taking selfies. You got presidents who are taking selfies. All generations are taking selfies. But it's really common for those of us who are outside the millennial generation to criticize the millennial generation. Oh, all these selfies, inventing selfie sticks and this and that. And I must say I've kind of made that comment more than a number of times. But you know what the problem is? History doesn't really back up what I'm saying. You realize that every generation has always taken selfies. Vincent van Gogh painted his own selfie. Rock stars have been pointing the camera inside of a mirror for a long time. Winston Churchill figured out some camera kind of take a selfie. Could it be that it's not that the younger you are, the more likely it is that you're selfish? Could it be the younger you are, the more likely it is that you have access to technology that every generation would have used for selfies, except now that's available? Could it be that all of us, regardless of our generation, we are about the self? That's our old identity. And the self will always tell you to be fearful of new things that are out there, or people who aren't like you, or people who have different opinions than you. It will always tell you that over and over and over. But when Jesus comes in your life, he gives you a new identity. It's not one of fear. It's one of love, one of power. Power, willing and able to do things you wouldn't do before, and self-discipline. This is your identity. This is who you are before God himself.